Aspen, do you have a second? I have something I really need to talk with you about. Oh, hi, Lily. What are you wanting to talk about at 8 p.m.? Can you let me come stay the night tonight? What? I was kicked out of my boyfriend's house just a second ago. What? Wasn't he the man you were getting ready to marry, though? Yeah, that's the one. You were going on and on about how you'd never let him get away from you, though, because he has all that money. Yet now you've been kicked out of his house? What happened there? To tell you the truth, I got pregnant on accident. You're pregnant? So then what got you kicked out of his place was... That's right. It's not his baby that I'm pregnant with. What the hell do you think you're doing, Lily? I know that in the past you were a bit of a wild card when it came to men, but you're still up to that crap? Hey, come on now. It's too late for us to be talking about all of that. No, it's not, Lily. What you've done is going to affect you for the rest of your life now. All right. Shut up now and let me come over. Having to be pregnant and walking around in the streets at night is tough for me. Well, just get your butt over here. Can I start to tell Mom and Dad about all of this so that we can figure out what we're going to do with you? What? You plan to tell them both about this? Well, of course I do. They both need to know. And we're going to have to hear about who the real father of that child you're carrying is, too. It's all such a pain in the ass, though. You're the one that asked for it all. Well, right now I'm heading over to your place. I should be there soon, so have the door open for me. Jeez, oh Pete's. Just be careful on your way over here. Aspen, you can do this on your way home, but could you buy me some snacks, please? You want me to buy you some snacks? All of the snacks you had in the cupboard here? Well, I went and ate them all already. You went and ate all of that which was in there? Some of the symptoms that I've been getting make me feel really hungry all the time and give me an appetite for sweet and salty things. I get that some women have that when they're pregnant. Last night you were also going through the fridge eating random things in there, right? If you start eating too much, it's not going to be good for your health. Just shut up and bring me more snacks. Not happening. I have heard from a lot of people, including medical professionals, that gaining a lot of weight while pregnant is not a good thing. So could you please think about that a bit more while avoiding all that food? What? You're so stingy. By the way, Lily, how long do you plan on staying at my house? What? I've been asking you over and over again about who the father of that baby is, but you just keep beating around the bush about it and dodging all my questions. Mom and Dad told you already that if you're not going to talk to me about what happened, they want you to get out of my house and go back to their place, right? They told me that they have your old room all cleaned up and ready for you, so you need to go back there before your belly gets too big and it's hard for you to move around. I'm not going back to the countryside. Listen, Lily, this isn't just my house that you're living in right now, but also my husband Roland's house. I already feel bad enough that he has to hear about all the drama you've created in the family now getting pregnant like that. But neither of us want you sitting around in this house when you're the one that caused all of this drama. Then how about you get out of the house? Excuse me? Here's the thing. Actually, the father of this baby inside me will probably be coming around to talk with you about it. There was just a few things that had to be done first, and that's why I never said anything to you about him. Things that had to be done. I'll go into a lot more detail about all of this later with my baby's father. Well, if you're finally going to open up and talk, that's all that really matters. Now, make sure to bring me those snacks home. Not happening. Lily, can we talk for a minute? What is it? I'm at the front of the house right now, but, my key isn't able to turn the lock to open the door. I wonder if the lock is broken or something? Lily, you're inside the house right now, correct? I'm sorry to have to ask you to get up, but could you please come and open the door for me? Nope, I can't open that door. Excuse me? Because we went and had the lock changed for a new one. Which is why your key no longer works on the front door. What are you going on about right now? I'm not going to let you into this house right now. I can't, that's all. Lily? Are you upset with me because I said I wouldn't be stopping to get you any snacks on the way home from work? Ah, I actually don't really care about that anymore. I went out and got some snacks of my own. Then what the hell is this about? Why are you not coming to let me into my own house? This house is both Roland's and mine, and we have been living here together ever since we got married. And to be frank, there is no reason you should be kicking me out of my own house right now when all you do is lay around. I see. You just think that I'm laying around here. Lily, if you don't stop acting out like that right now, I am actually going to get pissed off, all right? The one that should stop acting like a total idiot is you, actually. Excuse me? Because the one that actually went and changed the lock to this house was Roland himself. Wait, Roland did this? Today, Roland left work earlier than usual after using some of his PTO to be here. He wanted to be back here before you so that he could prepare to have you kicked out of the house for good. I'm being kicked out of my own house then? We made sure to send all your things that were here to your mom and dad's house for you. And the moving services will charge you once they have everything moved into their house, so please make sure to pay them. What the hell are you saying right now? I literally have no clue what this is all about, Lily. You still aren't catching on to what I've been hinting at? You should have been wondering why I've been here laying around your house all this time instead of going back to Mom and Dad's place. Right? What? Come on already. You're such a dumbass that I can't get anywhere with you anymore. So I'll just go ahead and tell you what's happened. Tell me what's happened. This baby that I've been pregnant with for a bit now's father is your husband, Roland. What? Hold it right there. Why would you say that Roland is the father? Why the hell would he be the father? You're so shocked, aren't you? This is getting so entertaining for me now. Not a single thing about what you're doing and saying is entertaining for me, though. Since I'm sure that you won't trust what I'm saying about your own husband being the father of my baby right now, allow me to send you a picture to prove things first. What is this? This is Roland and I on the couch after he came and brought me a bouquet to celebrate 1 year of being together with one another. 1 year? So what you're saying is that you've been going out with Roland around the same time he and I got married to one another? That's exactly right. So with all of that in mind now, I'm going to be the one giving birth to the person who will take over Roland's company after he retires, so you don't have to bother with him anymore. What? Roland's company? From today onwards, he and I will be treating this house as our earthly paradise, and there is nothing you can do to stop us. Actually, you just being around the house right now is a bother to me. So could you please get lost now? The divorce papers are out in the mailbox for you, so make sure to grab them before you head back to Mom and Dad's house. So you guys even went ahead and prepared the divorce papers? Of course we did. There's even a letter in here from Roland for me. He wrote about how he wants you to divorce him, right? As for myself, I would like to make Roland my husband before I end up giving birth to our baby. So could you please make sure to take those papers to the courthouse as soon as possible for me? I see. All right then. I'm going to take the papers there and drop them off right now. What? Seriously? In about 30 minutes or so, Roland will be going back to being a single man again. Hooray! This means that Roland can also be fired now as well, right? What? What exactly do you mean by that? How come you said he could be fired now? Goodbye. Aspen? Aspen! Hey, what's going on here? Okay, what is it? Tell me what the hell Roland being fired from his job is all about. How could the CEO be fired from his own company like that? Huh? You thought that Roland was the CEO of the company? Where did you end up hearing about that from? That company is his father's company, right? And there is no way that he could be fired from his own company when he's the one that runs it all as a CEO now. What are you actually going on about right now? Roland's father was only ever a basic office worker. Huh? So that's why you were saying something about me not having to worry about who would be taking over the company next, right? What? But Roland said that He said that he's the CEO and was made so after his father stepped down and retired. What? Ah, so he still has the wrong idea then. The wrong idea? I explained things to him so many times, over and over again, yet he still didn't understand a thing. What are you talking about, Aspen? This company that Roland has been working for, right? Well, it just so happens to be the company our cousin Robert owns right now. Wait, Robert? Robert's been running a company of his own for a while now? Hold on, you never heard anything about this from anyone? I never heard anything at all before about that. This is my first time hearing about it. I think he actually started the company around 7 years ago or so. Then why would something like that lead to Roland thinking that he would become the CEO of the company soon? I'm not really sure where the best place to start explaining all of this to you would be. Let's start here. Around half a year before Roland and I got married to one another, his company he'd been working at before ended up having some major layoffs. And after that happened to him, he was having a really difficult time finding himself a new job. And so I went and spoke with Robert about giving him a job in his company. So he was really only able to start working for Robert because of the connections I made for him. Well, since that day he first started to work for Robert, a lot has happened with Roland. He got this idea in his head that Robert would be single for the rest of his life and never have anyone to give his company to after he left. And so Roland thinks that he'll be the next one in line, even though that's far from the truth. Huh? I've really been trying to comprehend whatever Roland has been thinking that's led him to that conclusion. Roland does have a little sister, right, but she's not even working in the same field as him. And since Robert doesn't ever want to get married, Roland thinks that he's never going to have kids, which is true to the best of my knowledge. And that leaves you and I as Robert's only cousins, right? In other words, the only ones who could really be in line next to take over his company would be me. And that crazy man who thinks he's going to be the CEO, even though Robert has never even said anything to him yet about it at all. I'm having a hard time understanding all of this. The reason why Roland has been fired from his last job wasn't even due to the layoffs anyway. He was fired because he couldn't do his job correctly. What? There is no way Robert would ever let Roland, a completely useless man, take over his company after him. What the hell? Well, now that you're aware of all that, and now that I've had to divorce Roland over you and him making a baby together and stealing my house from me, there is no reason for Robert to keep him in his company anymore. It's not like he was a full-time worker for the company anyway. He was only working close to 15 hours a week. So he was part-timing? If he had actually taken his work there seriously, then one day he would have been made into a full-time company employee. No way. I thought that he was a way better option than my ex-boyfriend and would have a lot more money for me. Huh? So that's your reason for going and stealing my husband from me? That's right. Had I known the truth, had I been told the truth about Roland, I would have never even bothered with him. That's it. I just have to go and talk with Robert myself and convince him to hire Roland back into his company. Like you, I am also Robert's cousin, and that means that he would be happy to listen to all the things I have to say about why I took Roland from you and everything, right? Wait, you really think that's going to happen? Why do you say that? Do you want to know why Robert is most likely never going to be with anyone ever again? 10 years ago, when he was just getting ready to marry his fiancée, he found out that she'd been cheating on him with his friend, who went and stabbed him in the back and took her. Having to listen to someone like you now who's doing something very similar to what his friend did, I don't think you're going to be able to get a word off in front of him before he tells you to screw off, right? No way. Well, now that I'm divorced from Roland, I have nothing to do with you both anymore. I'm cutting ties to you now as well, so you both actually screw off now and go figure all your troubles out yourself, please. Wait a second. There's one last thing. That house you're living in, I just finished having the lease on it canceled. What? But isn't this the place under Roland's name? At the very beginning it was. But after he was fired from his job and no longer making the money to be able to afford rent, I stepped in and paid it for him, while also putting my name down on the place as the sole tenant. And ever since then, I've been the only one paying the rent for it. Seems that even Roland himself forgot such an important thing happened, huh? What the actual hell is going on here? Now, I happen to still have a job to get to. I'm going to turn off my phone now. Wait a second, Aspen! Early this morning, I went to the courthouse and handed the marriage papers. But I don't need a lousy husband like Roland anymore. I'll give him back to you now, so you do something about all of this. Aspen, please! While I was ignoring all of my sister's cries for help, a lot of things happened between her and Roland. First, Roland and Lily tried to stay inside the house I ended the lease on, and would squat there for about 2 or so weeks before the owner of the property came and kicked them out. Of course, things weren't that easy for the owner, though. And so he had to call the police out to help him remove the two because neither one of them would leave the bathroom they locked themselves inside of. But after a few conversations with a kind officer about how them not getting out that day would only make matters worse, they opened the door, gathered everything, and left. Then Roland made the choice to have them both move all the way back to his folks' place, where they'd be staying for the time being. Lily really wanted to get a divorce from him so badly, but neither Roland or his parents would allow such a thing to happen. This led to Lily trying to contact me over and over again, asking for me to come and save her, but this time I'd had enough and ended up blocking her number. Not only was she locked in by the fact that she was still carrying his baby inside her, but she was now stuck inside his parents' house with no way out. The only issue with Lily, though, was that she could not do chores to save her life. The day after Lily had finally given birth to the baby, her mother-in-law took it from her and then started to talk with me again about how much she hated Lily and wanted her gone. But of course, I don't care about Lily, but what I would be taking was both Lily's and Roland's money in a divorce. As of right now, neither one of them ever has time to be around their baby, as they both have to work from sunrise to sunset every day, making the money they need to pay off the settlements, as well as try to move out of Roland's parents' house. I'm sure that's a very tough life for the both of them, but all they have to do is work their hardest for the time being. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Ashley, big problem. It's about Jamie. What? Oh, Naya. Good morning. What happened with Jamie? I'm sorry for saying something the morning of your wedding that's going to be really bad news to you. But Jamie's car ended up having a flat tire on his way there. Wait, really? He was just pulling out of his driveway when he noticed the flat, and he's been looking at it ever since. He came and told me to give you a call since I happen to be the closest person living to him that knows you. I'm sorry, but he's asking you to come out here and pick him up right now to take him to your wedding venue today while his car gets taken to the shop. Understood. Oh, and from now on, can you just contact me if you have any more questions? He's calling with one of his friends right now that works for a car shop, and he's going to have to be on the phone for some time talking to them. He also told me that after this call, he's going to have to wait for a call back from them about getting a truck out here to tow his car. Sounds good. Thanks for contacting me about this, Naya. I'm leaving my house right now, and I can be over there to get him really soon.
Yo, Ashley, are you still not on your way to this restaurant to have our wedding? I'm here with the rest of my family right now waiting to see you here. Jesus, I can't believe you're gonna pull a stunt like this, putting your name down as the most pain-in-the-butt bride there ever was. If you're gonna be late today, at least tell me that. I'm gonna start getting things ready over here for the wedding while I wait for you. You have to understand that we're throwing a wedding in a restaurant where we reserved the whole place, which means a lot of money is going into it that I do not want to waste playing around with you. If you're not here soon, I'm gonna cancel this wedding without any hesitation. Understand? Get your butt here now! Time is up. I've gone and ended this wedding with you. And in your place, I'm gonna get married to Naya. Both my parents and hers have talked everything out, so even if you make it here now, it's far too late for you to do anything to change this. I even made sure to tell the staff here not to let you in if you come, so forget even trying. Jesus. Now I'm gonna have to get a divorce and everything before I can do anything with Naya. And then you and your familyless butt can sit there and rot away by yourself. Your lack of responsibility is gonna go down with your name in history as the worst thing ever about you. Also, there's a high chance that you've been cheating on me this whole time. Just a second ago, Naya was acting all strange, talking about how she wanted to say something about it, but she couldn't decide whether or not to. But then she came up to me crying that she had seen you with another man having sexual relations with one another. Thankfully, this wedding is being held at the restaurant one of my friends happens to own, so it was all too easy for me to tell him and the staff that I'd now be getting married to Naya instead of you. With that, as I had just said, I'm making Naya my wife now. And as for you, I'm gonna make sure to get every cent that I can out of you in a settlement.
My plan to get Jamie to want to marry me today was a success. You being such a simpleton without a worry in the world really helped my plan go smoothly for me. To tell you the truth, I was lying about Jamie's car ever having a flat tire that prevented him from going to the wedding. When I told you about that, he was already on his way to the restaurant wedding and didn't actually need you coming to his place to pick him up. And then, when you showed up looking for him in his car, I was able to push you into his garage and close it on you, locking you inside of it. So that was my first mission completed. And now I'm working on completing my second mission today. I was able to make it to the restaurant just in time to find him in the changing room all worked up over you not arriving yet. And there I told him another lie about how I'd seen you having sex with another man recently and are cheating on Jamie. And just like that, all the anger he had vanished, and he ran into my arms. I told him that if he were with me, I would never cheat on him or come late to a really important event like our wedding before asking him to marry me. And he took me in his arms and told me yes. That right there was the moment that two longtime friends who had never been anything more than that tied the knot of love and became a couple. So, with all that said, until this wedding is over with, you're going to be waiting in his garage quietly for me, please. What the heck? Naya, you went and tricked me into coming out here? And you took my place as Jamie's bride? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Well, hello, Ashley. So you managed to get out of his garage? After smashing into the door on the side of it over and over again, I was able to break it down. Wow. So you're like some kind of a beast now or something. Scary. I ran back to my car and grabbed my phone that I'd left in there to see what all I had missed. All of this... Why, Naya? Why would you do this to me? Going and taking my place as the bride at my wedding? What kind of BS are you thinking? I did it because I love Jamie, of course. Ever since he and I were born, we've been with one another. Yet sometime later, you barged in the way of me and took him. You are a serious nuisance. You're saying that I barged in and took him from you? Stop trying to make me seem like some kind of a monster, okay? Also, all you and him ever were longtime friends and nothing more. Sure, you both have been close to one another, but neither of you did anything with one another before I came, and he even said it himself that he wasn't into you much. If you really loved him as much as you say you do, then why the hell didn't you open up about your feelings for him before all of this happened? Shut your mouth. Also, it's too late for you now. He and I have tied the knot with one another, and just a second ago, I stood in the place of you in your wedding dress cutting the cake. Jamie also made sure to have the name on the cake changed from yours to mine after he heard that you cheated on him. Jamie told me that he was happy to have me becoming his bride today, and he'd forever cherish this moment. Huh? And just like that, I'm now his wife. Then that would mean my dress. Oh, that's right. I'm going to wear your dance dress you had ready as well soon, so that I don't have to go home and get one of my own. Thankfully, you and I are both the same size all around, so I didn't have to worry about the wedding or dance dress today. You bitch. These are both rentals, so stop getting all worked up about me wearing them. They're not rentals. What? Both of those dresses are dresses that a dear friend of mine out in France made for me and then sent to the US. Both of them together are close to $15,000. Huh? Since you think you can just take everything from me after having locked me in a garage, I'm going to make you pay. What? Well, so what, I guess. I'm sure that Jamie will step in and do something for me there. At least for me, once this wedding and party are all over with, he and I can go to the courthouse and get married to one another for real. Once the wedding and party are over with? In other words, you're going straight there to do all that paperwork? That's right. We already made sure to fill out all the paperwork before we got the wedding on the road, so all we have to do afterwards is take them into the courthouse and hand them in. Jamie and I are both married right now, though. What? You didn't know about that? Huh? We haven't moved in with one another yet, but 2 weeks ago we went to the courthouse and handed in the papers to get married. You're kidding me! So, all of this crap you sent me about completing your plan to lock me away in Jamie's garage and take that wedding from me so that you can be married to him, I'm sending screenshots of right now. What? Hold on a sec. Also, while we've been talking here, I've been looking into something. While you were pushing me into the garage and closing the door and locking it on me, my car's drive recorder captured it all on tape. Your car has a drive recorder on it? I wonder how he's going to react to watching all of that, right? Stop that!
What the heck is all this? Are you serious about this? Naya went and did all of this to you?
Jamie, have you read through all the screenshots that I sent you?
Ashley! So the reason you never showed up here or said anything to me about being late is because of this? That freaking bitch, Naya! How dare she do all of that to us? All because she wanted to marry me? What the heck did she do to my wife?
Right, she really is a total bitch for all the things she's done. But on the day of our wedding, you not being able to get a hold of me before the wedding started could have been because I was in an accident or really sick or who knows. There are plenty of scenarios where I could have been in trouble and had no way of texting you about what happened to me. But you never once thought that any of those could have been the reason for me not showing up, right? Me not showing up to the wedding equaled me not being someone you can trust in your head. And then your friend Naya comes in and says a few things, which you believe almost immediately, and tell her that you're going to marry her instead of me? And then change the whole wedding to make her your bride instead of me? Also, you did something there, didn't you? A lot of things, actually. All I thought I had to do was break out of that garage that I was locked into by Naya and get to my phone so that I could contact you. And when I did get out, all I thought I needed was to get to the wedding as soon as possible as not to worry you any longer. But when I went and read everything on my phone...
Ashley, the thing is, after I saw the truth and why you weren't ever able to make it, I knew that I still wanted to be married to you. And I'm going to cut ties to Naya as well. And as for this wedding today, you and I can start over and do everything I already did today with you. If you really want to, we can go overseas this time for the wedding and make it a very fancy one, having everything you ever wanted there. All right? That shouldn't be a problem for you, right?
How would that solve anything, Jamie?
What?
Instead of even asking me what happened and trying to talk with any of my friends about why I wasn't there yet, you started to criticize me over text and lash out like I've never seen you do before. And then you started to go on about how I cheated on you based on what Naya said. And then you told me that you would be having the wedding with your longtime friend instead of me since I hadn't shown up yet, and that you'd be divorcing me. Well, you know what, Jamie? We are getting that divorce now, like you said.
A divorce?
I'm going to get myself a lawyer, and then I'm going to make sure I get a settlement from you.
Wait!
I'm going to drive you into the ground over what you've done today.
No, wait, come on now. Today at your wedding, all of your friends that came said that what I was doing was insane, and all began to leave before the wedding actually started. If you divorce me now, them all having the wrong idea about me will only make things harder for you, correct?
Well, here's the thing. All of my friends have been talking about what happened today in our group chat. And I already explained to them what happened between you and Naya and I.
Huh?
So all of my friends know the truth about you and don't have the wrong idea whatsoever.
Are you joking right now? In that group is the daughter of my company's CEO?
That's right. She happened to be a friend of mine from university that I wanted to come to the wedding today. And she told me that she was going to have a word with all your coworkers later on that you had at your wedding today so that they would understand what happened.
What the hell is she thinking? And why were you not thinking about my position in the company before letting her do that?
Listen, bud, did something happen to you? Are you all right? Neither of those things came from you before you automatically started to dig into me and then say you'd marry Naya. That's what I thought my husband would be asking me instead of getting pissed off like you did. I just wanted you to worry about me in case I did get into an accident or something. After breaking out of your garage, I went and looked through all those things you said about me, calling me names and things like that, and saying that I'd been cheating on you. I can't believe you anymore. As for the divorce, I'll have my lawyer get in touch with you in a few days. They'll be the one to give you the paperwork as well.
Ashley?
Goodbye forever. After that, I had my lawyer do all the talking with Jamie as I could no longer stand him anymore. It took a long time for anything to get anywhere in terms of the divorce, up until one day we noticed that Naya was pregnant. And upon further investigation, it turned out that the baby was Jamie's. And that was the end of our discussions as the divorce was then forced to happen. And in the end, Jamie and Naya got married to one another officially. Just like she'd wanted, she had the man she'd always loved and been around. But at the same time, she would be paying for my dresses that she wore and the settlement that I was getting from her and Jamie. They would both pay me everything within a week of one another, and my lawyer told me that they both had to borrow a lot of money to do so, and went into some pretty heavy debt. And not too long after that, her and Jamie were both told by all their friends that they were nothing to them anymore. As for Jamie's parents, both of them told him that he had lied to them about why he was making Naya his bride at the wedding, and said they wouldn't forgive him for that. And that led to them disowning him. With nobody supporting their marriage, and them not even being in love with one another anymore, it took only half a year of going through hell for them to get a divorce. And then they both ran away to different parts of the state, never talking to one another again. The only good thing that came out of that mess was Jamie's parents taking the baby that Jamie and Naya had and not letting him see it anymore. As for myself, I made sure to have Jamie pay for the whole entire wedding as well. So I was the only one who actually gained money from the whole ordeal. And although it was heartbreaking for me at first, I am still very young and have plenty more time to find a true man that loves me, which I can marry. However, for the time being, I'm going to put finding a new man on the back burner and use some of this money to take a few trips around the world like I've always wanted to do. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hi, Monica. What the heck is going on? Why did I just receive a bunch of boxes from you? And the contents is all your belongings? Are you planning on moving in or something? You opened it? Why the hell would you do that? You've invaded my privacy. Keep your hands off my stuff. What? Well, you didn't mention anything about sending 1,000,000 boxes to my house. I needed to know what they were. There's so many, they're blocking my door, you know. What are they? I said hands off. Well, can you explain why you've sent them? What the hell is going on? You can't send so many boxes unannounced. I don't live by myself, you know. Colin is going to be so confused when he sees this. Did you mean to send it to Mom so they could put them in your old room or something? No, I didn't confuse the address. I meant to send it to your place because I'm moving in tomorrow. You, on the other hand, are moving out. Come again? Are you drunk right now, or have you actually lost your mind? What kind of a joke is that? Who said I was joking? I'm being serious. First of all, it was never fair that you get to live in that fancy high-rise apartment and not me. It's about time I get my turn. So I am kicking you out. Monica, you need to knock it off. You are making absolutely no sense, and frankly, I think that it's rude. I mean, what the hell do you mean it's not fair? I worked to get where I am and not by myself. As I said earlier, Colin lives here with me. You know that. It's not up to you to decide that you move in or send your belongings without us knowing. On top of that, to kick me out? Give me a break, girl. I don't know what is going on with you, but I am officially worried for your health. You should get some help. Anyway, I am sending these boxes back your way. I'm sorry, but I can't accommodate you. You are so oblivious, aren't you? You have it all wrong, Jane. I didn't just decide for myself. Colin knows what's happening. Huh? You want to know why? Because I am his girlfriend now. He told me to send my stuff and kick you out because he loves me, not you. Monica? Seriously, you're starting to sound like a maniac. You're not making any sense. What the hell are you talking about? I'm telling you that he wants to be with me and not you, you idiot. Get it? I'm in, you're out. Therefore, that apartment is mine now. I am engaged to that man. Well, let me be clear for you then. Things between you and Colin have been over for a long, long time. Over? No, it hasn't. We still live together. How could it be? Yes, it has. You see, Colin and I have been seeing each other for over a year behind your back. I'm sure you recall that he's been quite busy lately, coming home in the middle of the night or going on business trips all the time. Well, guess what? He was with me all those times. You had no idea, did you? He's done with you, Jane. He belongs to me now. Are you being serious right now? So he's been cheating on me with you, my actual sister? Well, since his main interest is me now, you could say that I've been letting him cheat on me with you. But we can skip that part because it's not going to be important anymore. Anyway, I'm sure you get the gist now, so start packing. You don't belong there anymore. We plan on getting engaged as soon as I move in. So we don't need any parasite hanging around. Excuse me? You're calling me a parasite? Well, clearly you are. Colin's told me what a cheap ass you are. You make him pay for everything from rent to groceries, and you keep all the money you make to yourself. You think you're special or something, don't you? Well, you're not. You're merely a parasite who sucks up Colin's money. Wait a second, he said that to you? That he pays for everything? Yes, he did. He tells me his true feelings about you all the time. He's also told me about how annoying you are, telling him what to do. You're so bossy to him. Plus, you used to be pretty, but you don't take care of yourself anymore. You only wear tired, baggy clothes with your messy hair. You never wear makeup like you used to. You've forgotten that you are a woman. He doesn't love you anymore because you're not attractive. Oh, and, he also said that you are so unappreciative, even though you live off his money. You're a horrible cook and bad at housekeeping, too. Wow, he has a lot to say about me. Yeah, he sure does. So, you see, you're unwanted. He prefers someone like me, a young, pretty girl with a good attitude. Someone who takes care of herself and her man, not a bossy old hag. All right, fine then. I'll go. If that's what he thinks of me, I will have to end things with him right away. Oh, Good, sister, you get it now. Please do, quickly. I've been dying to tell you to get the hell out. It's finally happening. Oh, I can't wait till we start our new life together. Everything is going to be so great. Colin, is it true? Have you been cheating on me with my sister?
Huh?
Monica just messaged me. She said that you've been seeing each other for over a year now, and that the plan is to kick me out of the apartment so that you two can live together.
Oh, well, I guess she couldn't wait then. I told her to wait until I break up with you out of courtesy. She's like that, isn't she? Once you get her excited, you can't stop her. It's kinda cute if you think about it.
Wow, Colin, you just admit everything then, yeah? Just like that?
Clearly there's no point in acting stupid. I might as well be honest with you so we can get this done and over with.
Unbelievable. Is it true what you said about me too? That I live off your money and keep everything I make to myself? Or that I'm a terrible cook and bad at housekeeping?
You mean you're surprised to learn that I think of you that way? Of course it's true. It pretty much summarizes you, doesn't it? You're so dependent on my salary. Oh, and don't forget that you're also unappreciative and bossy as well. I realized that you were a mistake as soon as we started living together. It would be a nightmare to marry someone like you.
I see.
Your sister, on the other hand, is great. She's young and sweet. She knows how to respect a man, unlike you. It's hard to believe you two had the same upbringing.
Interesting. All right, so to clarify, you're ending things with me to be with my baby sister.
It's happening sooner than I initially planned, but yes, that is correct. My parents will understand, I'm sure. They'd prefer a sweet girl like Monica over a tight ass like you. Damn, it feels good to finally get you off my back.
Cool. Fine then. We're officially done, as you wish. I'm glad we haven't made any wedding plans, so no issues there. I'll take my stuff out of the apartment right away. I'll also take out the money I put in our joint account, and that'll be it. Thanks for everything. Have a good life.
Ha! You're such a sarcastic bitch. Whatever, I don't care as long as you're leaving. The sooner you leave, the sooner I get to restart my life with Monica. I can't wait to live with her, so be quick.
Oh, don't worry. I will be gone by the end of the day. I can't stay another minute longer in this house, surrounded by your stuff. I just have one thing to say, as a friendly note. Good luck surviving each other. I'll be waiting to hear how long you two last. I'm betting myself less than 3 months.
Jane, baby, how are you, my dear? Listen, there's something I need to say to you. I don't know how else to say this, so I'm just gonna say it. Baby, I'm so sorry. I was wrong about everything. Please, come back to me. I can't live another day without you. I need you back. Help me. I'm begging you.
See? 3 months. I told you. I should add profit to my title.
Jane, I am serious. You won't believe what's happening here. The kitchen and bath, they're completely ruined. It's like something exploded in them or something. They're so filthy. In the kitchen, all the pans are burnt black and just sitting there. I don't think there's a single plate that isn't broken. Every piece of food in the fridge is rotten and it smells horrible. The bath is clogged up and the bubbles won't stop overflowing from the washing machine. The toilet's disgusting too. And the entire house, it's just full of things everywhere. Please, I don't know what to do. Help me.
It's Monica, isn't it? She has no clue about a single chore. She doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't know how to clean. Nothing, because she never even helped. She is useless when it comes to housekeeping. In fact, she probably doesn't even know that people work hard to keep their houses clean. She thinks there's a fairy to do all that.
You knew she was this bad? Why didn't you tell me that before?
How did you not know? I thought you two were seeing each other for over a year behind my back. Well, I guess you were too busy sleeping with her. It's too bad you had to wait till you lived with her to find out. But hey, now you know. She's a disaster, isn't she? You know, she almost burnt down her apartment before. And her room was always filthy. My mom had to clean it for her because she refused. Even after she left my parents' house, my mom had to go to her apartment every weekend to clean for her. I told her to stop spoiling my sister, but she was too afraid that Monica was going to damage her apartment or something and get in serious trouble with the landlord. My sister was so bad that my mom became totally paranoid.
I don't believe this. You never said anything about Monica being such a disaster. And she told me before that she was great wife material. She said she was a better cook than you and that she was a very tidy person.
Well, what do you think? Can't you tell she was totally lying? I mean, it's bad enough that you have to ask me for help, right?
It is! This place, it's barely livable. I'm gonna have to get a plumber to fix the bath and the toilet, but I can't pay for it. I don't have any cash left this month.
Oh, that's too bad. But hey, it was your choice, wasn't it? Monica doesn't have any money or any housekeeping skills, but she's young and sweet, right? That's what you like in a girl, wasn't it? So you should let her off the hook. You let her be the young and sweet, free-spirited girl.
You know that's not what I really meant, Jane. Even if it was back then, I see now that her youth is not going to solve my issue. I can't live like this. Baby, listen, I'm sorry. I truly am. I never should have let you go. I know I was an idiot. I didn't realize how much you used to do for me until now. Please, come back. I miss your warm, delicious meals. Please.
Nope, not happening. Clearly, you only think of me as your maid.
Baby, that is not true. I love you. Hear me out, please.
Don't you ever baby me. And for the record, I do not love you. I know you don't love me either, so stop pretending. Like I said, you made your choice 3 months ago. You said you didn't want a bossy woman like me and chose Monica, so have fun. Try to make the best of it, perhaps. At least until she stays young. Bye! Jane, hey, you need to answer me right now. What the hell is this? What did you do? What now, Monica? It's quite amazing how you still have the nerve to message me. What the hell do you want from me? Why do I have a payment notice in my hand right now? It says I have to leave this apartment if I don't pay on time? What do I do, Jane? How the hell am I supposed to deal with this? You don't know how to deal with something, so you come to me and not Colin? I didn't think you two were that stupid. But I guess you guys are a good couple. I mean, you clearly think alike. Shut up and help your little sister out, Jane. I'm not interested in your sarcasm right now. I don't know why our rent hasn't been paid. Colin should have taken care of it. He left to visit his parents last night and hasn't come home since. I can't get a hold of him to ask what is going on. Do you know why? Well, the rent gets withdrawn from the joint account Colin and I used to have. When you and him kicked me out, I, of course, took out the money that I ever put in there. So I'm assuming after 3 months, the account must be empty by now. I knew it! You bitch! You stole our money! Give it back, you thief! Put it back in the account right now, or I'm calling the police. I beg your pardon? Don't you dare call me a thief! I only took out what I put into that account. It belonged to me in the first place. Seriously, did you expect me to give it up to 2 assholes who kicked me out of my own house? Well, it doesn't make any sense. You must have taken out more than you put in there because Colin said he put money in the account. He said he did last month, too. So then how could it be empty? Do you know how much he was putting in the account? No. Well, you should teach him that he can't live in a high-rise apartment building for $500 a month. Huh? I bet he's only been putting $500 into the account like he always has. What a moron. He thinks he lives in a dorm or something. You should use this opportunity to educate him on the real costs of living. He's an adult now. He can't assume $500 is going to cover everything. Well, duh. He knows that, of course. He's a grown man. What the hell are you talking about? Ah, well, my little sister, I am really glad you, at least, understand $500 is not going to cut it. It's too bad, though, because I'll tell you, your man actually doesn't. He's a spoiled bastard who used to live with his mom up until he moved in with me, and that's the amount he paid his mom every month. It stayed that amount even after moving in with me. So he thinks $500 is enough anywhere he lives. He's probably not even interested in finding out the true cost. You're kidding, right? Nope. Besides, he only makes like $3,000 a month, so he shouldn't be living there in the first place. But when we decided to live together, he wouldn't budge on it. I told him so many times that we should live somewhere that matches our income. He wouldn't listen, though. And me, being a blind fool, eventually agreed to cover for most of the cost. 3,000? Get out. That can't be true. That's not even enough to cover for a month. I told him that, too. I did that math for him and asked if he was going to be able to pay half the rent every month with what he makes. But then after asking a bunch of times, he got pissed off, claiming that I was hurting his feelings. He even told his mom. And then his mom, being the nuthead that she is, calls me up and lectures me on how I should respect a man. It was the worst thing ever. So I stopped saying anything about his money. Honestly, I wish I could go back in time and punch myself. I was so young and naive. I should have known that he was never worth it. So then how the hell was the rent ever paid? I was paying most of it, of course. How else could we have lived there? That's not what he told me. He said that you were completely dependent on his income. Well, that's not true. I think he kind of made himself believe that. But in reality, he was the one who was completely dependent on my income. All he ever paid was $500 a month, and the rest he spent on himself. And yet he never did any chores. So, you tell me now, who's the parasite? Not me, clearly. No. You've got to be kidding me. This is not happening. Sucks to be you. For me, it was actually the best timing that you guys kicked me out. It was never going to work out between me and Colin. Our finances were so different, it was clear that I wasn't going to get along with his crazy family. So I guess I have you to thank. It was a huge wake-up call. And you gave me the opportunity to end things with him smoothly. Anyway, I hope you and Colin can find a way to pay for rent, or for anything. Wait, Jane, this is insane. I literally cannot pay. I didn't know Colin was lying to me. If I had known that he was financially dependent on you, I never would have taken him. He tricked me. Monica, sweetie, you called me a parasite, and yet you were trying to live off of his making too? That sounds awfully hypocritical to me. Well, like I said, he has no such money, so it's faster if you go find yourself a job. A job? What? I can't work. I don't know how. Come on, Jane. Help your sweet little sister out. It'll be the end if I get kicked out of this apartment. I don't have anywhere else to go. I don't have any money. I'll end up on the streets. Please come back and live with us, perhaps until we get ourselves back on our feet. Surely you don't want your baby sister to become homeless. You actually think I care? I'm not helping you. It's not my problem if you end up on the streets. In fact, I think you deserve it. Goodbye, Monica. I doubt we will ever speak again. Soon after our last conversation, Monica drove hours to Colin's parents' house to confront him about his lies. He pretended he wasn't there and had his mother talk to Monica instead, which really pissed her off. She got into a huge fight with his crazy mother on their front porch. The fight got so out of hand that the neighbors eventually called the cops. Once the cops arrived, Colin finally came out, but Monica's confrontation was so intense that it scared Colin enough for them to finally break up as a couple. Through a third person, they agreed to split the bill for the unpaid rent as well as the cost of damages done to the apartment. However, the apartment being a suite, the payment for the damages cost them much more than expected. Desperate, Monica visited my parents to seek help, but furious of what she had done to me, they refused and kicked her out of their house. My mom later told me that Monica was on her knees begging and crying, but my parents decided that it was their job to teach Monica a lesson once and for all. On the other hand, Colin, being the spoiled ass that he is, was able to get help from his mom to pay for everything. But still having the desire to live with someone who would pay for most of his living costs and do all the housework, he showed up to my work and begged me to take him back. My colleagues, who knew what happened between him and I, thought it was hilarious and began to insult him in front of everyone, calling him names like the parasite, mama's boy, and the $500 dude. Colin was so embarrassed that he took off and never showed up again. I don't really know what changed him so much during the past few years. Despite his crazy desire to live in a luxury apartment, he had some kindness and modesty when I first met him. But I guess the environment can easily change someone. I regret not being able to see or stop his absurdity much sooner, but now that it's over, I simply hope they do better next time. Since the breakup, my life has been great and carefree. Because I don't have Colin to take care of anymore, I've been able to focus on work and deliver better results than before, which has led me to land a promotion that I've been hoping for the last few years. I sometimes wonder why I made such a poor decision to stay with Colin. But now that it's done and over with, I am glad I will never waste any minute more than I already have. And now that I really have the money to myself, I enjoy every bit of it in my very own luxury apartment.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Cassidy, are you out with that man of yours again? I want to talk about this divorce already. You keep running off to go and spend time with him, leading to this whole divorce getting nowhere. If you really want for things to happen like you keep whining about, then come home and talk with me.
Come on, you're talking about all that again? I was kind to you by leaving the divorce papers at the house for you to finish filling out. Just sign your name on those papers and hand them in to the courthouse. Then this whole situation will be over with and you won't have to think about me anymore. You're the one who keeps trying to bring things up with me, delaying the divorce you keep whining about wanting all the time. You're being a jerk right now, Arnold. I even said you could have full custody of Kai, so why do you still sound unhappy with things?
I want to talk about the settlement.
What?
If you want to know why I'm not happy with getting the divorce just yet, then I'll give you my answer right now. I want for you and that man you've been cheating on me with to pay $50,000 as a settlement to me and in one payment.
$50,000? Are you nuts?
I came up with that amount after talking with my lawyer about how long you've been cheating on me for and how many times you've lashed out at me trying to hide said affair. I will not be reducing that settlement. You owe that amount to me for all the times you've lied to me saying that you've loved me and your daughter, so let's go.
What the heck? You want me to pay you that much? You're outright trying to rob me.
Everyone knows that when someone in a married couple cheats on the other, they have to pay up for it.
Well, I don't know about that crap, and I don't care.
Then that makes you an idiot who needs to be taught a lesson.
Shut up.
Once I know that you and your man are gonna pay up, I will be handing in those divorce papers. Also, if you try to take the papers and hand them in yourself without my consent, then I'm gonna have my lawyer call the courthouse and have them trash those papers, so don't bother trying. And I haven't even signed anything yet, so you would have to forge my signature, and that would land you in an even worse spot than you're already in.
Are you kidding me? I want to get married soon, Arnold. My boyfriend and I have already made plans for our wedding and everything, yet you've made those plans fall apart, and now we have to reschedule things. Stop being an ass.
If you want to get married, then you'd better get to work on sending me that $50,000. Otherwise, you're just going to have to wait until I feel like signing those papers.
I don't have that kind of money.
Well, until you do have the money, there won't be any divorce.
What the hell? Do you like holding me hostage like this?
Absolutely not, but I need to make sure that a little rat like you doesn't slip through my fingers without paying me that settlement first. That's the whole reason I made sure the lawyer and the court knew you had to pay me in one lump sum so that you couldn't run away from me with my money. To be honest, you both are some tiresome idiots. Hurry up and pay me that money so we can get this divorce over with.
What? What makes you think you need to say things like that?
If you don't want me talking to you like this, then come home and talk with me.
Come on, Arnold.
You're such a pain in the butt.
Arnold, are you all right?
Oh, hey, Amy.
I saw what you sent me yesterday night. I get that things aren't going your way, but you can't start getting all upset about it right now. You're only going to push Cassidy further and further away, and things will go nowhere for the both of you, so take it easy, please.
I might have gone a little overboard there. I just got all worked up is all about what she was saying to me. However, her parents knew where she'd run off to, and so they were able to stop her for me.
I see. Hey, Kai is looking at my phone right now and asking how you're doing.
Kai, I'm doing just fine.
Can I call and talk with her later? She really wants to hear your voice and is always asking me what you're doing and where you're at.
Sure thing. Sorry for leaving her in your care for so long now. I promise to make this all up to you later on.
No worries. She's my cute little niece after all, so I'd watch her until the end of time if I had to.
Thank you. You're really helping me out a bunch here.
Tomorrow you'll be taking her to the amusement park for a bit so that she can get some of her energy out and have fun, right?
Yeah, that's right. Even with how things have been going between Cassidy and I still need to act like a parent and give my little girl the attention she deserves.
That's right. And I think you getting out for a bit and having some fun there will be good for you as well. Cassidy, come to Miles City Hospital right now. Oh, hey, Amy. It's been such a long time since I last spoke to you. What's going on over at that hospital? Have you still not gotten a call or anything from them? Both Arnold and Kai got into a bad car accident. What? They had just left the house, and just a few minutes later they got rear-ended really badly. They were both taken to Miles City Hospital by ambulance, and I'd like for you to head there now as well to go see them. Right now I'm with my parents as well as my husband heading there to see them. You should already be aware that I'm getting a divorce from Arnold, right? What? Yeah, I'm well aware of that already. But you both are still legally married, and this accident involved your daughter, who is now in the ICU. And I told you and Arnold that I don't want custody of Kai anymore. Is there any reason I need to be going out to see them now? Seriously, I don't care to go and see the both of them while they're just laying in some hospital beds, so please don't ask me about this again. What? I get that you and Arnold are on your way to getting a divorce, but you can't actually be abandoning your own daughter like that, right? We should already be divorced by now, Amy. Yet for some reason, Arnold either still has some kind of feelings for me, or he wants my money, and that's why he won't let us get divorced yet. I don't care that they both had to be admitted into the hospital. Just as long as Arnold is still able to sign those divorce papers soon. And if he injured his hands, then someone step in for him and sign it so we can get this divorce taken care of. Right now is not the time to be talking about your guys' divorce. Would you stop playing around with me already? Just make Arnold hurry up and sign those papers. And of course, without that whole settlement BS. Cassidy! Oh, by the way, starting tomorrow, I'm going to be away for 3 weeks with my boyfriend on vacation before our marriage. You're going on vacation now with him? Aren't your parents supposed to be watching you right now? I found the perfect time to run away from those two. Cassidy, you are really asking for it. Had Arnold just stopped being such a baby about the divorce, this would be my honeymoon with the man who should be my husband now. So unfortunately, we'll just have to call this vacation our pre-marriage vacation. All because of Arnold. I see. I understand now why he was getting so pissed off with you. What? I totally understand now that you have no intent of going out to see Arnold and your daughter at the hospital. Well, whatever happens from here on out, I'll make sure to keep between us and not get you involved. Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank God you're a lot better at understanding people's feelings than your brother. I'm going to start packing my things now. Bye-bye. Amy, I just got back from my pre-marriage vacation and all. Yet there is still no word about the divorce from Arnold, so now I'm not going to play so nicely with you guys anymore, okay? I took a little trip back to the house to have a look and see if the papers had all been signed, but they were still on Arnold's desk without his signature still. That must mean he got into that car accident before signing the papers, huh? And from the looks of things at the house, it seems that neither Arnold nor Kai have been back home and are still in the hospital, right? I guess I have no choice but to come to the hospital and see them so that I can force Arnold to sign these dang papers. Can you tell me what hospital those two are at again? Oh, so you're back home now? Did you know that both of them had to be transferred to another hospital? I stopped by the hospital you told me about before to ask if I could go see them, and they told me they were no longer there. And they wouldn't even tell me where Arnold and Kai went when I asked. I tried texting him, but he didn't respond back to me yet. Arnold broke both of his hands in the accident, so there's no way for him to do anything on his phone. Oh, is that right? So where are those two at now? I'm not telling you. What? Are you kidding me, Amy? I have to have Arnold sign these dang papers for me. Hey, Cassidy, there happened to be one other man you'd been having an affair with, right? What? Are you still talking with that man now? You're on about him, huh? I am planning on marrying the man I'm with now, so I left that other guy a while ago. And how did you explain to him the reasons for why you wanted to break things off? Well, I hadn't met with him for around 5 months at the time. So of course I didn't say anything to him about how I'd be getting married to another man or anything. All I said was that my husband and I were rekindling our love for one another, so I had to say goodbye to him. I see. What ended up happening with that guy anyway? Well, that man's funeral took place 2 weeks ago. Huh? What do you mean, funeral? That man had been ill for a while, so I wanted to ask you if you knew anything about that. I didn't know. Well, a little bit after you and him broke things off, his illness grew worse, and he had to be admitted to the hospital for care. There was no cure to what he had, so he finished his life in a hospital bed, surrounded by his wife and kids. What? So with that, I wanted to tell you that his wife found out about him cheating on her with you and started an investigation into who you were and where you're from. What? Because of that, it seems that in the next couple of days here, you will be getting told about the settlement she'll be wanting from you. No way! And it sounds like she wants the same thing Arnold wants, for you to pay it off in one lump payment. Wait, no! Get all the money you have ready. I don't have all of that money, though! Well, then how about you borrow the money you'll need? I'm sure that's the only choice left for you now, since there's nowhere left for you to run. What the hell is this? Arnold? Hey, please, just give up on getting that settlement from me, okay? I'll make sure to give you something else in place of that. I'll come out and see you at the hospital and bring you flowers. And I'll even get back together with you. So, what hospital are you staying at right now? I asked your sister that, but she just bullied me and said she wouldn't tell. Also, my parents have started to tell me to get out of their house and that they won't accept me as their daughter anymore. I've kind of come around to realizing I was a little bit in the wrong here, and so I'm wanting to make up for that, all right? And the only person I can rely on now is you. That's why I'm thinking about being nice to you again by letting you stay with my husband. And hey, I've made sure to leave that last guy I was with. So you don't have to worry about me being with any other men at the moment. All right? This will take care of all our problems, right? I'm sure that Kai is pretty lonely now after not seeing her mommy for some time, right? So, where were you guys admitted at? Hey, Arnold. Hurry up and tell me where you're staying, please. It sounded like Cassidy went and broke up with the man she had been wanting to marry for a while, in the hopes of erasing all those talks about divorce and staying Arnold's wife. But she didn't seem to have listened to what I had told her about my brother's hands being a mess, and so all of those texts and calls she gave him went unheard and unread. A week went by before I stumbled across all of her texts to him when I came back to see him and check on his phone. However, even after reading everything she had been saying to him about the divorce and her need for him, Arnold had no plans of letting her back into his life and continued with the settlement. He then told me to block her, and that if she really did need to say anything to him about the settlement, she had his lawyer's info and could contact him to pass the word on to Arnold. The same thing happened with the other woman, whose husband had cheated on her with Cassidy. So Cassidy ended up having to pay off 2 settlements. Realizing that there was really nothing left for her to do in this situation, Cassidy went and sold almost all of her things to pawn shops, which still didn't give her enough money, so the remainder had to be paid for with some borrowed money. And with all of that, she was able to pay off both settlements in one lump payment. Currently, with the tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt she's in, Cassidy's having to work day and night, 7 days a week to make all that money back, all while silently crying. Even after the divorce, Arnold has been stuck in the hospital recovering from his injuries, but things are going well there. Kai ended up being released a couple of days ago, and has been doing all right after the head trauma she had received. She will start kindergarten soon, so we'll have to see how her condition is there. At least she's smiling again and hasn't even mentioned a single thing about her mom yet. Recently, she has been sitting inside a lot, drawing pictures of giraffes and elephants, talking about how she can't wait to go to the zoo once her daddy is out of the hospital. Seems there's no need to pray for this father-daughter duo, as they are both bound to one another like magnets. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Is now a good time, Narina? I have some good news I want to tell you.
Oh, hi, Flavio. Good news? What is it?
My sister got engaged!
Oh, that is quite the good news. So Morella is finally about to get married too, huh? Is she going to marry that guy?
Yep, she's gonna marry Primo, the guy she's been going out with since high school. He finally paid back all of his student loan and saved up a bit of money, so he says it's about time for them to get married.
I see. Now that you mention it, those two have been going out for 10 years now, right? It must be quite the milestone for the two of them. To think that they're finally going to get married.
Yeah. I mean, Primo is an orphan and was raised in a facility, and he doesn't even have any relatives he can rely on. This must mean so much to him because now he's finally going to officially have family of his own. He said that he didn't want to be a burden financially on Morella, which is why he didn't propose to her until now when he finally became able to fully support the two of them.
He's kind and hardworking, so I'm sure he'll make a great husband.
Yep, I hope that's the case for Morella's sake as well. That's not all I wanted to tell you, though. Apparently, he's going to be visiting my parents' house again to ask for their permission for the marriage. He says he wants you to be there as well since you're my fiancé.
Oh, I'm flattered.
Could you keep your schedule open for Sunday afternoon? We can go together to our house once we're finished with the meeting for our wedding ceremony.
Yep, I'll be more than happy to come.
I mean, my family and Primo have already met multiple times, so he's really only going to pay a visit because it's custom, though. There's no way my parents are going to disagree to this marriage.
It's fine if he's just going to visit because it's a custom. It's probably his way of starting a new chapter in his life.
Yep, I get what you mean. I'll tell you about the details later on.
Yep, got it.
Hi, Narina. Thanks for coming to our house today.
Yep, I had a wonderful time. Looks like the meeting with your parents went peacefully from start to finish, just like you said, huh?
Oh, yeah. My parents have always liked Primo, and I wouldn't have expected a meeting with them to go anything but peacefully. Still, though, well...
Is there something on your mind?
I mean, the wedding ceremony.
Huh? The wedding ceremony? Oh, he said that he wanted to have a small-scale wedding ceremony with just his friends and family, right?
Yes, that's exactly what's bothering me. As Morella's brother, I wanted to have a proper wedding at a wedding venue with a considerable number of people invited. I don't want her wedding and our wedding to be compared by other people in the future, you know?
I mean, what they want is a small-scale wedding, right? It's not for us to decide what kind of wedding they're going to have, I think. Besides, it's not like a small-scale wedding is necessarily inferior to a large-scale wedding. What matters the most is what the two of them want.
Huh? Don't you think you're being a bit too cold? This is my sister's wedding you're talking about, you know?
Really? I mean, I want them to have the best wedding possible as well, but It's not really me to decide what exactly the best wedding for them is.
Don't you think that you want to help my sister out or something? You say that that's the kind of wedding they want to have, but in reality, I'm sure Primo just doesn't have the money to have a large-scale wedding.
Sure, Primo was an orphan raised in a facility, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's still poor, you know? I mean, it's been several years since he graduated from college and found a job. Besides, I heard that they're going to start making detailed plans for the wedding starting from today. I mean, I think the two of them already have some sort of image for their wedding, and I heard he told you this, but I don't really think it's for us to decide how their wedding is going to go. The best thing to do would be just to stand by and help them or give them advice when they ask us for it.
Yeah, but as Morella's brother, I wanted to have the best wedding ceremony possible.
Yeah, I get that, but it's not for us to decide what kind of wedding they should have. We're not quite seeing eye to eye right now, but why don't we just stand by and let them do their own thing for now? I don't think getting too involved in their wedding is a good idea. You really need to stop acting like only you know what's best for your sister. She can decide things on her own, you know.
What? But I'm sure this is what Morella herself wants as well. She's probably going to say something about how she wants to plan her own wedding and how they want it to be a small-scale one. But in reality, she's probably going to only say that to hide the fact that Primo just doesn't have the money to throw a proper wedding.
Like I said, I don't think it's a good idea to get that involved. Both Morella and Primo are responsible adults, so I'm sure everything will be fine.
All right, I'll think a bit more about this.
Narita? I think I'm going to have a problem with this. I'm grateful that you want us to have the best wedding possible, but this is just going too far. What? What's the matter, Mirella? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm talking about the wedding venue. My brother told me that you two were going to hand over the wedding venue you made a reservation for 2 months ago, and even the wedding dress you guys were going to rent to me and Primo. What? Not only that, but he said that he was going to pay for all the other expenses as well. He said that you can have an even more luxurious wedding than the two of you were originally planning, and that he'd give me an extra 20,000 euros. Huh? 20,000 euros? Me and Primo already have plans for our wedding, so I'm afraid we won't be able to accept this. It's not that we're planning a small-scale wedding because we don't have the money to throw a larger one, but it's partly because Primo doesn't have any family of his own. Don't you think that he'd get a bit lonely if a bunch of my relatives came to my wedding when he has no one like that himself? Wait. Hold on, Morella. You say that you guys only have our best interests in mind, but this is just going too far. We want to plan our own wedding ourselves. Please, try not to get too involved. I wasn't told anything about this. What do you mean we're going to give you our wedding venue and an extra 20,000 euros on top of that? You said your brother Flavio told you this, right? Yes. He not only says that you agreed to it, but he even said that you were the one who proposed it in the first place. But I never agreed to doing anything like that. Heck, he never even told me about it. I was actually trying to stop Flavio because it sounded like he was going to try and get involved in yours and Primo's wedding. Really? I think of you like my own sister, Morella, but I wouldn't go so far as to give you my own wedding ceremony. I see. I mean, that's only going to cause you guys trouble, right? To tell you the truth, it will. I see. So this was all my brother's doing. I guess if you think about this a bit more carefully, you're not the kind of person that would do something like that, huh? Sorry, I just panicked when Flavio told me this and assumed that this was your idea. Sorry for getting all mad at you. I was so surprised when my brother suddenly came to me and told me about how he was going to give the wedding ceremony that was supposed to be yours to us. I tried to refuse, but he kept insisting. He even said something about how I didn't have to hide the fact that I actually wanted to have a proper wedding because he's my brother or something. I see. Flavio was always the kind of person that wouldn't take no for an answer. Yep. He often comes up with these plans on his own that he thinks are a good idea and sets it into motion without telling anyone else.
But more often than not, it only just causes the people around him trouble. It looks like this is one of those again. Yeah, and at times like these, I tried to stop him from doing anything before he can even start. But it seems that this time he messed up real big since it was your wedding, a major event in your life that was on the line. Sorry, you must have been really surprised when he told you all of this, right? No, don't apologize. You did nothing wrong, Narina. I'm the one who should apologize to you for my brother's actions. Anyways, I think I'm going to have to talk to Flavio about this. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry we had to make you go through this trouble. Narita? Did you already confront my brother about giving us your wedding? No, I haven't yet, actually. Sorry, but could you wait a bit longer? I contacted Primo just now, and he's saying it's completely unbelievable. I'm sorry to say this, but I think this is even worse than we initially thought. Huh? You contacted Primo? What did he tell you? I know this is really sudden, but could me and Primo visit you in person right now? I'm pretty sure we're going to have to give you an apology, so I want to talk to you in person. That's fine with me, but... Thanks. I'm really sorry, but I'll tell you about it when we get there. We're going to be there in an hour. Got it.
Narina! There's something I want to tell you. We're gonna give our wedding...
You were going to give our wedding to Marilla and Primo, right?
Oh, you already heard about it from her. We're gonna give them our wedding, and not only that, but I want it to be even more luxurious than we originally planned. Which means I'll need you to give them an extra 20,000 euros.
The two of them don't want you to do this, so could you just stop? Wait, hold on. Why am I the one that's going to give them 20,000 euros? You're the one who came up with this. Not that I'm agreeing to give them the wedding ceremony that was supposed to be ours, though.
Huh? What do you mean they don't want me to do this? Why wouldn't they want me to do this? I mean, you and Morelli have similar body structure, so you should be able to use the wedding dress that was supposed to be yours as well.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm trying to say that Morella and Primo don't want you to give them our wedding ceremony in the first place. Morella and Primo came to me yesterday to ask me to do something about this. Apparently, you told them that I was the one who came up with the idea of giving them our wedding?
Well, I thought that it would mean more to them if they thought that you were the one who came up with this, and not me.
Huh? I think you made this mean a bit too much to them, and not in a good way.
Yeah, but think about this more carefully. Morella's future husband is someone who can only throw a small-scale wedding because he's too poor.
Huh? What made you think Primo was poor? Sure, he may have been poor growing up since he was an orphan, but it's already been several years since he graduated college and got a job. Use your head a bit more, Flavio.
Huh? But of course he's still poor. That's how the world works, Narina. I mean, he was so poor that he had to take on a student loan to go to college. Morella was kind enough to ignore that fact and accepted Primo despite his poverty. Don't you think that it's only natural for me, then, to want to help them in any possible way? I'm doing this for my adorable little sister, so don't get all selfish, alright?
How exactly am I being selfish? You're the only one who was just assuming that Primo is poor and making a big deal out of it. Everyone else is rolling their eyes at you right now. Do you not even notice that? No one thinks that giving Morella and Primo our wedding ceremony is a good idea except you.
Yeah, but I already set this plan into motion, so there's no point trying to argue anymore. I already told the wedding venue that we were going to cancel our wedding ceremony, but to still make us pay for it. I told them that my sister was going to throw our wedding ceremony there instead of us.
Huh? You what? Does that mean that you canceled our marriage without even telling me anything about it?
Come on, Narina. You make it sound like I did something bad. All I did was make sure that my sister would be able to have the kind of wedding ceremony she actually wanted. Me and you can just postpone our wedding ceremony and have it when we save up some money again. Primo, on the other hand, won't be able to do the same because he's so poor.
Are you seriously still saying that? Besides, did you forget that we already sent everyone wedding invitations?
Oh, that's right. Thanks for reminding me. Could you tell everyone we sent a wedding invitation to about the situation?
Huh? Why are you making me do everything when this was your idea? Do it yourself. And do you seriously think that you can get away with just telling everyone that our wedding ceremony is going to be canceled?
We're not cancelling it. We're just going to postpone it. I mean, all you have to do is tell them that our wedding ceremony is going to be postponed. What's so difficult about that?
Is that so? So that's your stance. Fine. I don't care.
Nice. Well, I just texted you to tell you that we were going to give Morella and Primo our wedding. So that's it, I guess.
All right, but in exchange for that, I'm going to be asking for an alimony.
Huh? An alimony? For what?
I don't want to marry you anymore. I just can't keep up with all your crazy antics.
Huh? What are you suddenly saying, Irina? Hey, what do you mean you're going to cancel our marriage? Is this why you said you're going to ask me for an alimony? Are you seriously that mad that we had to postpone our wedding ceremony?
There are a lot of things I want to tell you, but since now I know about your real intentions, I no longer want to marry you. That's all there is to it.
Huh? If that's the case, then you're the one who should be paying me an alimony. The person who proposed the marriage cancellation should be the one to pay.
You're cheating on me with a woman named Lucia, right?
Huh? I don't know who you're talking about.
I heard that Lucia works for Primo at his company.
Primo is Luisa's boss?
You idiot. Do you realize you just admitted to cheating on me? Well, not that it matters, I guess, since I already have proof. You see, apparently Primo saw you and Lucia holding hands while entering a love hotel several times while he was on his way home from work. He didn't want to jump to any conclusions, so he first asked one of the other female employees to do some investigation for him. But apparently the two of you met at a party and that you two were going out on the basis of eventually getting married. Not only that, but apparently she was pregnant with your child and she was planning on telling the company about it soon.
No, that's not true. Me and Luisa aren't going out. We're just friends, you see.
Just stop trying to deny it already. There's no point. Anyways, I heard that soon after Primo found out about this, you started talking about how you were going to give our wedding to him and Morella. In Primo's own words, the woman he was cheating on you with became pregnant, and so he needed to buy time to decide which one of you he was going to marry. He probably just wanted a reason to cancel your wedding ceremony and used me being poor as an excuse. Not only that, but he said that you asking me to pay 20,000 euros was another tactic to distract me from the truth and buy time. This is the hypothesis that Primo came up with, and I'm pretty sure what he's saying is spot on. So was he correct? Oh, and I forgot to tell you, but I also met with this Lucia as well.
You met her?
Yeah, I thought that I had seen her somewhere before, and apparently she was an underclassman at the college I went to. Apparently she asked you out, but you refused, since you were planning on asking me out instead. Ever since then, she's been seeing me as her enemy, it seems. Her parents got divorced and her last name changed, which is why I didn't notice it was her until I actually met her in person.
What? The two of you knew each other? Damn it, I should have realized.
I think I already told you enough for you to guess where this is going. Apparently, Luisa got pregnant on purpose while knowing I was your fiancé. She was planning on stealing you from me from the start.
Huh?
She says that she's sorry for stealing your boyfriend. It looks like you were being targeted from the beginning. What a scary woman this Luisa of yours is.
This has to be a joke, right?
No, it isn't. Well, that's all I had to say to you. I'm canceling the marriage, and I'm going to make you two pay me an alimony.
Wait, hold on.
Please contact me through my lawyer from now on.
Your lawyer?
Well then, goodbye. This and that happened, but eventually the marriage between me and Flavio was successfully canceled. Not only did I make him pay an alimony, but I also made him pay for all of the wedding ceremony's cancellation fees. Of course, I made Louisa pay me an alimony as well, just like I said I would. They were a bit uncooperative at the start, but I was successfully able to make them pay the alimonies up front. After that, it seems that Louisa and Flavio got married, but it was only then that Flavio's hell truly began. First of all, everyone in his company eventually found out about why his marriage was canceled and talked about it behind his back, giving him cold looks everywhere he went. But since he had to earn enough money for his wife and soon-to-be-born child, he couldn't resign. When he goes home, his new, now fully mentally unstable wife would check all his stuff and even his smartphone to make sure that he wasn't cheating on her. Not only that, but naturally all of his siblings and his parents cut ties with him. Apparently, the two of them started going bald out of stress. I haven't told anyone about this, but I think that was the final piece of karma that came to them for doing what they did.
Yo, Chris. You happen to work for Jarvis, right? Is that you, Parker? It's been a very long time, right? The last time you and I saw each other was maybe 5 years ago at that class reunion? Yo, answer the dang question for me. You happen to work for the company Jarvis now, right? That's right. I started to work for Jarvis around 3 years ago when I changed over to this company. As of right now, I'm working in the sales department. I've worked with Jarvis in their sales department before plenty of times, but I never once noticed that you were there with them. Ah, I see. You're working for Cadillac's commercial affairs team now, right? I happen to just become the manager for all of our work with Cadillac recently. Oh? You're the one in charge now? This all happened for me so fast, with the promotion and such, but the last manager ended up leaving his job for a few reasons that I'm not aware of. I'm sure that you would recognize that manager if you saw him, since I'm sure you ran into him a couple of times then. Yeah, probably. Well, I can see that you're doing alright for yourself now then. And that's where you're working now. Well, I'm glad that we were both able to catch up. See ya! Ah, right. See you again sometime. 3 months later. Parker? Do you have some time to chat with me? Huh? When I'm over at Cadillac trying to deal with some important work, do you mind not putting me in headlocks all the time? Or coming up behind me and hitting me in the back? Yo, Chris. You need to start calling me Mr. Parker from now on. I'm the one who has a position above your own now. Don't you dare think you can call me by my name without adding some form of a formality to it, you lowlife. What are you talking about? Jarvis and Cadillac don't have that kind of connection with one another. No, I'm the leader of the team that deals with you guys now, and I've decided that I can do whatever I want when it comes to all of you. You became the leader? And if you were just to take a look at the size of this company compared to Jarvis, you'd know better than to think you were on the same level as me. No matter what you try and say, Cadillac is seen as the company on top of Jarvis. So all you guys are over there is a contractor to us. I don't believe either one of the companies we work for had that kind of relationship with the other, actually. Hey, you need to be more formal with me. You'd better start thinking of how to talk to me like I'm your boss. Well, anyway, what I'm wanting to talk with you about is related to our work, so can you please stop speaking such nonsense to me? Huh? What did you just say to me? You've always kind of been this way to me, ever since middle school. And not just me, I suppose, but to everyone you're ever around. You forget to think about how others feel about you, and will do anything and everything for yourself without a bother in the world. Back in middle school, you happened to make a lot of trouble for one of the teachers who was pregnant at the time, and got kicked out of her class. And there were plenty of other times there as well where you had to go to detention for being rude and obnoxious to everyone else. You even ended up being suspended that one time for causing a scene in the lunchroom by pushing someone else over while they were carrying your lunch tray. I guess you really never learned that from suspension anyway, so it was probably better to take another approach to trying to make you behave, but anyway, Have you still not noticed that your kind of nonchalant behavior about everything is not helpful to those around you? Huh? Who gives a crap about everyone around me? Because I feel that they have a problem, they can bring it up with me. I'm sure back in school that kind of thought process worked out for you. But we're adults now working in two very large companies. You contractors and your preaching always takes way too long. I told you that I'm not a contractor to your company. I understand that you and I have history all the way back to middle school, but at the moment, all we are to one another is business partners, or, well, customers. In other words, I'd like it if things between us remain that way and you stop it with all the horseplay when I come over to the office. Especially right now when both of our companies are starting to make some big decisions between one another and need to be serious. Alrighty then. I'll be more careful around you. The next day. Oh. Chris, you've made it. Just like that other man that was working as the manager for relations between my company and yours, you happened to give a good meeting about those plans there. But listen, bud. What the hell do you think you're doing bringing plans up like that to my company when you're just a contractor to us? You trying to make a point there? Ah, I see. I'm betting you thought that to prove that both of our jobs are equal to one another, you decided to bring in those plans and make a whole meeting up about them to show everyone here you're more than a contractor. Well, it's because of thinking like that I'll never be able to take you low-life contractors seriously over here. Alright, this is my chance to make a move. I'm going to help you understand just the position a manager like you is really in, Mr. Contractor. I hope you're looking forward to this, because I sure am. 20 minutes later. Parker, give me back those plans and proposals. I'm planning to use all of those again for today's meeting. Also, what the heck are you thinking taking that SD card from me that had all those papers downloaded on them for safekeeping? If I don't have any of those by the time of the meeting, I won't be able to have it. Do you have any idea what the heck you're doing right now? Yo, I took a quick read over all those plans and proposals you have here. I don't think any of these will do, to be honest with you. They're being rejected. Huh? This is something I've been wanting to tell you for a while now. For a contractor like you to be bringing proposals like that into a company is a frickin' joke. Some bullcrap like this that's been thought up by a low-life contractor like you is only good for one thing. Fuel for my fire. Haha. Huh? Are you gonna burn all of that? Actually, the fire's already going. Everything's in there. I'm sure you're not gonna be needing this SD card anymore either, right? Well, I just stomped on it for you, so you don't need to answer that. That whole feeling of superiority you had there is all gone now, right? Parker! Now that I'm the new leader for the team dealing with you and that company, I'm gonna make sure you all understand just what kind of company you're all working for now. Do you have a single clue what the hell you've just done, Parker? I told you exactly what I've done. I destroyed it all. Because ideas coming from contractors like you mean nothing to me and my team, nor this whole entire company. I worked very hard to snatch all those papers from you, as well as that SD card today in order to remind you what kind of position you're really in. The leader of that team is still Justin, as I recall. Well, starting today, Justin is no longer leading the team, and in his place, I stand. Well, I was never officially told any sort of news like that from any higher-ups, nor yours. And actually, as we speak, my company is on the line with yours asking who is in charge of that team. Huh? To me, it seems that you've been causing a lot of problems for Justin and the team there. And from today, are you trying to act as though you're in charge now, right? I'm sure you're just doing all that to make me feel worried and upset, or something needless like that. What are you getting at here? I was just doing my job for this company by making sure idiot contractors like you don't get the wrong idea and think it's okay to be making proposals for this company. If anything, I'd really like a thank you from you right now for helping both companies out. Parker, I had thought you knew about my position in Jarvis. and the relation we have with Cadillac, but I guess you really don't have a single clue. Huh? I'm sure I shouldn't be having to say something like this to you right now. But listen here, Parker. Those plans and proposals that you just burnt up and smashed on the floor happen to not only be thought up by my company. What? Those proposals that were given to us came from your team's leader, Justin, and he had asked for us to brush them up a little here. Also, that by the time we put them into action, there would be no faults anywhere. And as for some final work that was being put into all those proposals and plans, I had created a PowerPoint on that SD card to give at the meeting showcasing what we had done and where we planned to go with everything. Huh? As for today, during that joint meeting we'll be having, there will be both the CEO from Cadillac and the CEO from Jarvis there to see what ideas we have ready. And not just them, but also other customers to both our companies will be there watching. What did you just say? It will only be a matter of time before everyone begins to show up for that meeting, all to see what we've thought up to help both companies work together even closer from here on out. But after what you've done, I'm sure you can guess what'll happen to you now, right? Wait a second. Luckily that SD card and those papers have all been backed up to another hard drive back at Jarvis, so I can go back there to retrieve all that information as long as the meeting has moved to another date, or later this evening. So I'm not so worried about having that meeting or not. What I'm worried about is your behavior, and the actions you took today in the order to try and get me to kneel to you. At this point in time, all of Cadillac is in a panic trying to find out what's happened to you, and what you did with all the proposals we had. Whoa! I'm sure that the smartphone you're texting me with right now is also being blown up by all your coworkers and bosses, right? Do you think it's going to help you in the future to ignore all of them right now? No, wait. I just assumed that after dealing with you, I could get right back to work and talk with them all then. I'd say your best bet now is to start answering to all of them, and come back to the office to answer for what you've done. You really need to be made aware of the severity of all you've just done, and the only way that'll happen is if you come back here and face the consequences. The next day. Chris! Do something about all of this for me! What do you want from me? Right now my uncle is completely pissed at me. If things keep escalating like they have been, I might end up getting fired from my job here. That's right. You so happen to be the nephew of one of the directors within Cadillac, and that's the whole reason you were even able to get a job there in the first place, right? So far, your uncle's apologized for all your actions there many times over. Huh? He's apologized for me? Have you finally come to an understanding of the predicament you're in right now? No way! I was finally able to get a decent job at a company like this, and have been racking in even more money than I ever imagined I'd be able to. Because of my connection to my uncle, I was even able to get a raise and everything. And the job has been so simple for me that I barely feel as though I'm working at all when I'm here. I don't want to be thrown out of a job that's as easy as this one. Well, what would it mean to you if that uncle of yours is no longer a director there? What? Due to all the trouble you've caused this time by ruining the meeting we were supposed to have, and almost destroying all the work Jarvis and Cadillac had worked for, your uncle had to really step in and take responsibility for you. Huh? Are you kidding me? And, well, this was the last straw for the company and your uncle, so they terminated him already. One other thing. That leader, Justin, that you've been trying to take the spot of forcibly, happens to be the grandson of your CEO. Are you freaking kidding me? The rest of this is probably things I shouldn't really be talking about with you. But you have to understand that you're acting like a spoiled brat that thinks they can get away with anything within that company. It's not acceptable by any means, right? No. No. This is all a lie. I was just wanting to make the workplace more lively, and that's why I did a bunch of things like that to spice things up a bit. And when I started to work on the team dealing with you and that company, I hated to think that some contractor like you would have the balls to try preaching to me like that. That's not a good way of thinking about Cadillac and Jarvis's partnership. Really shows just how horrible of a person you really are, Parker. What? You have not grown up one bit since we first met back in middle school, and that's just sad. If anything, you've only gone backwards in terms of personal growth, and it's felt like I've been dealing with a preschooler when I'm around you here. What the hell did you say? I'm sorry, but I have a meeting to get to now. Huh? Why do you have to go to a meeting all of a sudden? Well, due to your outburst yesterday, along with your actions, the meeting between both our companies had to be delayed until today. For crying out loud! Don't you dare leave me with no help when I'm about to lose my job! You were the one that ruined the gift your uncle had given you by getting you into that company. Why do I have to be the one blamed for all that? You understand the phrase, you'll get what's coming for you? What? Other than the things I've just said to you, there's nothing else I'd like to talk with you about. I'll be going now. Frick! After that, as you just saw, I was able to hold that meeting with the rest of my group and Cadillac's team, and it all went over really well for everyone. But, while that was taking place, Parker went ahead and did something far worse. It appears that he was really in love with the woman working the front desk of the office building, and he refused to stay home from work while the company performed its investigation into him. He came into the building with a bouquet of roses for her, and he proposed to her in the lobby of the building. He totally had the confidence to think that she'd never say no to him, but she told him a swift no, and he began to throw a fit in the lobby, which ended up with him being taken into custody by police. And with that, the CEO came down to him before the police took him away and told him that he was fired. Both of Parker's parents told him to never come around them as they disowned him, and he no longer was able to get into contact with any other members of his family. He also had a restraining order put on him by the girl at the front desk. Parker could no longer handle all the holes that he was continuing to put himself into, and one day he had one last hurrah on the subway drinking loads of alcohol and making a complete mess of himself. He was taken back into custody by police. However, this time he wouldn't be lucky enough to escape the court system. I'm not sure how long he'll be locked up for, but I hope that he keeps acting up in there so that he has to stay longer, as there is no way anyone wants a menace like him back on the streets causing problems for the public.
Cheryl, you're the worst. I made a huge mistake living anywhere close to you. If only I made it more clear to Logan before that I wanted to live closer to my parents, you would never be around us.
Good evening, Isabel. What has gotten into you this time? What have I done to you that is so bad? Can you please explain that to me before we get any further with this?
You went out and made a duplicate key of our house's key without ever asking me first. And then you used that key to get into our house without being invited.
Huh?
While me and your son have been out of the house, you have been coming in and doing as you please. If that isn't you trying to mess with me, then I don't know who is. But there isn't anybody else close by to us who would want to mess with me, so it has to be you. I have only been married to your son for 2 weeks now, and you're already going to start picking on me? You are the worst person ever.
Can you calm down a little bit first? Tell me, when did all of this happen? Why do you think that I'm the one that made a duplicate key for your house and have been going in there uninvited while you guys are out of the house?
Why are you trying to play dumb with me? This all happened just today. I'm not sure why you come over here all the time and what you're trying to do, but every time we go out, we come home to things in our room and the living room being misplaced. Things like this can only be done by one person, and that's you. We all know it.
Well, all day today, I've been downtown at work.
Huh?
My normal week consists of me having to work Monday through Friday and having the weekends off. I get plenty of holidays as well, and sometimes I'm asked to travel out of state for work. That's the kind of schedule I have working for this company.
I thought that you were just a part-timer.
No, I'm working full-time, actually, and my time in the office is usually from 8 to 4. And today was no different, as I had to be into work by 8, and then I wasn't home until around 5. And I only get around an hour for lunch, which isn't enough time for me to come all the way to your guys' house and do anything there.
Huh?
Trying your hardest to blame someone without any evidence is not okay, Isabel. Next time, I'd like you to be a bit more careful, okay?
Cheryl, what is wrong with you?
Isabel, what is it today?
The food that I made for dinner today, you came in and threw it in the trash on purpose. That is so messed up of you.
Can you please explain to me what happened this time that makes you think it was me?
I'm talking about what you did during the day today. I know that you were waiting for us to be out of the house and then came inside with that duplicate key to go through our fridge. And the food that I made for us to have for dinner today was all sitting in the trash can outside. You threw it all away, didn't you?
So this happened today, huh?
Today is a Saturday, so you can't try and use being at work as an excuse on me. I bet you're the kind of wife that thinks it's okay to serve up frozen dishes to your family. And when you heard about me making my own fresh dishes for your son, you became jealous and wanted to have a reason for tossing it in the trash. I bet you're going to tell me that it tasted bad, and that'll be your excuse this time. You are the frickin' worst.
Well, I'll have you know, Isabel, that since yesterday evening, I've been out of the state and have been on my way to Colorado for a conference.
Huh?
I actually had to leave right after work yesterday, so I haven't been home for the last 36 hours or so. And I've been out of town for the last 24 hours or so on my way to the conference. So I'm sorry to say this, but I haven't had the time to come over to your place to do that today, nor have I even been in the same state.
Huh?
I'm sure that you thought because today was Saturday I wouldn't have work and could come over to your house. But I'm not in town right now, so you cannot keep trying to blame me for whatever happened to that food you cooked up for dinner.
Is that so?
If you're so worried about having someone coming into your home all the time and doing these things, then maybe put up some security cameras. Then you should be able to catch the person responsible. Now I'll be going.
Mom, do you have a second?
How's it going, Logan?
Well, I have something to ask you.
What's up?
I feel that a couple of days ago, you may have been contacted by Isabel about something having happened to the food she had made for dinner that night.
You were talking about last Saturday, right? She did, in fact, text me about something to do with her food. But what's happened now since then?
Once again, her cooking was tossed in the trash today.
Seriously?
And once again, she's back at it trying to blame you for doing this to her. She's telling me that last time you did a good job running away from her. But she knows that when we're out of the house, you come inside and taste her cooking to see if it's good enough for me or not.
She still thinks it's me. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm out of the state again today.
Wait, is that true?
Just after getting back from Colorado over the weekend. The company had me sent back out to another conference, but this time in Wyoming. There have been a lot of things going on within the company's world, and so I've been out of the state since last Friday and probably won't be home until this Friday.
What about Dad? Ever since he retired from his job, he's been home quite a lot, right?
Well, your dad told me that since I'm not around the house for a whole week, that he's back in New York at his dad's house helping take care of him while he visits. And he won't be coming back home until the day after I get back from Wyoming, which will be this Saturday.
So in other words, neither you or Dad have been in town since last Friday then?
That's right.
I see. Alright then. So you said that you'll be back in town by Friday, right?
Well, as long as there isn't any place else I have to go after here.
So in another 2 days. Alright, take a little time to rest and think about all of this. So I'll get in touch with you again later.
If you have any more questions after this, you can feel free to ask me anytime.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Oh my, oh my.
Cheryl?
It seems that I ended up in a pretty awkward spot just a second ago and saw some things. I just saw the two of you run off in a panic outside, and I just wanted to know if everything was okay there. I hope that the two of you are being careful right now since you're out in public in the nude.
Why? Why have you come all the way home already? From what I heard from Logan, you're not supposed to be back in town until Friday. Which means you shouldn't be home until tomorrow, right? Why are you home so early?
Well, that conference that I went to ended up ending earlier than expected, so I was able to come back home a day earlier. But, Isabel, I want to ask you, why have you been over at my house all day without me around, relaxing and treating the place as if it's your own? And not just relaxing, but fooling around with a man I've never seen before.
You do realize that this house is the home of your husband's mother and father, right? And you have been in it while we've been gone doing what, exactly? I have... This is unacceptable, Isabel. You have been blaming me for so long for picking on you and coming into your house while you've been out. But from what I've seen, you've been waiting for the right time when my husband and I are gone to come into our home uninvited. What the hell were you thinking?
Mom! What happened to Isabel?
Oh my, so it seems that you finally made it back home from work then?
I want to know what's happening with you guys. When I tried speaking with Isabel about you guys, she started to freeze up and not want to talk to me anymore. And as of right now, she's locked herself in our room and won't come out to talk to me.
My, oh my. I wonder if I went a little too far.
I'm being very serious about this right now, Mom. When I got home, I saw that her clothes were thrown all over the place. And they're wet?
Right. She must have found someplace outside to get changed back into her clothes then before making it back to your place.
What the hell are you talking about? I don't really want to think about what she could have done, but if you really have been picking on her, and this is another part of it, I might have to say goodbye to you forever, Mom.
Logan, I know that it's your job as her husband to trust everything she says and does around you, but I just want you to know if you have it in yourself to doubt her for 1 second and have the will to look deeper into what she's been doing, really start to think about if she's a trustworthy wife after all. So to start, please look around and see if you can find anything about her that's not quite right.
Huh? What? Is there actually something going on that I don't know about?
There is, unfortunately. There's something about her you should be doubtful of. I think you need to seriously start rethinking your relationship with her and question her loyalty to you.
Huh?
Logan, can you come over to my house right away? I know that this might not be the best time for you, but I have some things here that I'd like to tell and show you that might help you better understand what's been going on with her.
All right. Mom, I'm not really sure what to say about all of this. But for starters, I want to say thank you. When you showed me the image of that man she's been with, I felt like I knew him. And now it's come back to me that he's in fact her ex-boyfriend.
That's right. Isabel's ex.
I'm going to take a second look further into him and see what I can find out.
If you have anything else you need help with, just ask.
Sounds good. I'm sure I'll need your help again very soon.
Daryl! What the hell have you told Logan? He's asking for me to divorce him right now! Oh my. Perhaps I should be explaining this to you a bit more so that you have a better understanding of why this is. Well, I shouldn't have to explain anything to you, because you should be well aware of what you did to cause all this. Well, but ever since that happened, Logan hasn't said anything to me about it. And actually, I thought as my husband he would have believed what I was saying about you over what you said to him. If only you would have come back on the day you told us you'd be back, none of this would ever be happening to me. And had you just listened to what I had told you, you would have never had to try to blame me for picking on you all those times when someone else was in your house. But now that I think about it, you were only blaming me so that Logan would look away from you cheating on him and be focused on trying to get answers from me. What? To put it this way, I'm sure that you've been giving that man that you've been sleeping with a duplicate key to your house and that he's been the one going in there and messing around. But you've wanted to keep that fact hidden from Logan, so you blame me for it, trying to get Logan to think the same thing. But remember, I have rock-solid evidence of me not being in town or being at work whenever you accuse me of being the one in your house. So Logan never has a reason to doubt me, and has only had further reason to doubt you. What? You know what I'm talking about, Isabel. And even if you say you don't, we all know what's been happening. And that you are the only one that none of us can trust. I'm sure that those times you blamed me for throwing away your dishes, it's been really the man you sleep with eating them whenever he comes over to fool around with you. And you do your best to hide that from Logan by making up a quick dish before he comes home from work. What's funny, though, is the last time you tried blaming me, it wasn't your cooking that your secret man ate, but the cooking that Logan had prepared in advance for dinner that he ate. That time you had no idea what the recipe was for Logan's meal, and so you had no way of covering up what had happened, right? I didn't actually think that Logan could ever cook like that. And that's why things began to fall apart really badly with your lies. Because you said that I threw away the dish you cooked, even though that time it was Logan's dish. But it's not like it would have mattered anyway, considering that even if it was your cooking and you tried to blame me for it, I still had evidence that I was not in town, and not even in the state during that time. Why were you not around during that time? Stop trying to complain about me, please. The only person you should be complaining about now is yourself. But even after everything I've said and about what's going to happen to you, you still seem to not want to apologize for it. What are you trying to say? It's already a very bad thing that you've been cheating on my son with another man, but the fact that while I've been gone out of state, as well as while my husband's been gone out of state, you took the duplicate key to my house from Logan, and you went into my house uninvited to finally have a place where you could make love to this unknown man without there being anyone around the place to see you. But right as you both got heated up in my house, I came back home a day earlier than expected. And it's because of me being home early that I was able to see you on top of that man on my couch, right as I walked in through the front door. And as soon as you both saw me come in, you both bolted out the house with your clothes in hand and fully naked. Honestly, you are such a frickin' whore, you. Well, what do you want me to do about it? Right now I'm so worried about everything that's going on now that I can't even think straight enough to try and lie about what happened. I'm sure that after seeing how Logan wants to leave you now, you're starting to realize there is no way out of this now? Well, I don't want to get a divorce, though. He's even telling me that he's going to get a settlement from me now. I know that he's going to be allowed to get that settlement because he has so many reasons to get it from me. Yeah, that's right. And by the way, as for you breaking into my house uninvited, as well as you having sex on my bed, all the furniture, and eating a lot of the food in my house, I'm going to be asking for around $15,000 from you and your secret partner to pay for me to get brand new furniture and restock my fridge and wine cellar. $15,000? You have to understand that my furniture was not cheap. And the bed especially, it was specially crafted for my husband and I since we both have trouble sleeping. And he has a bad back that requires a very high-quality mattress. It was so nice finally being able to get that mattress and all the nice bedding a year ago, and now it's been ruined by you. I'm so upset. It really did feel amazing having sex on that bed. And now I know why. You must have been going at it with him for a long time. And I can tell that by how wrinkled all the bedding is, even after a few days. But I've thrown all the bedding out now, and we will have to wait a whole week for any new furniture and bedding to arrive. Now, with all of that... Huh? Isabel, I'm aware that you don't have a good standing with your parents right now and might not be able to go home to them. Well, I think Logan and I are going to do the same thing and cut ties with you and never let you in our lives again. So please, hurry up and sign those divorce documents and then pay whatever needs to be paid by you. Wait! Right now I'm not working a job and I don't have the money to pay. What should I do? Well, if you're in a pickle, think about how to get out of it yourself. But I'm saying that I don't know what to do right now. I'm going now. What? For crying out loud, I'm asking you to help me, Cheryl. After that, all of the messages from Isabel began to really get on my nerves. And as for my son, who was back living with us at our house for a while, his phone was the same, being blown up by messages from her. So to stop her from ever causing us any sort of annoyance ever again, we both blocked her number. Following that, we also worked on selling the house that Logan was living in with her, since it had been spoiled by her and her secret man. Logan was also able to get a decent settlement from her not too long after selling the place, and was able to then move out of our house and into a new place on his own. And as for me, I was also able to get that $15,000 I had asked for, and was able to get all new furniture and bedding. Things had finally calmed down for all of us after that bumpy road with Isabel, but the same cannot be said for her. For starters, her and that secret man ended up having multiple fights about money and everything, and ended up breaking up. This also meant she could not stay in his small apartment any longer, and was forced onto the street, where she now calls home and has to make do. And we found out that the only way she was able to pay my son and I the money we asked for was through her parents, who already didn't like her. So after receiving their generosity like that, she was forced to start working day and night to pay them back all that money she took from them by the end of the year. But of course, the end of the year is only 2 months away now, and so for her to be able to pay all of that money back to her parents, she might really need to step up the pace and just forget about ever having free time, or time to sleep. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Hi, Cicera. We haven't talked to each other since we graduated from high school, right? So this makes it 9 years, I guess. Are you still enjoying that life of poverty? Anyways, I wanted to talk to you about the wedding invitation I sent you recently. You know, the one I sent you by email since I didn't know your new address. Could you hurry up and send me your reply already? Or is it that you're worried whether you'll be able to pay for the trip to the wedding venue because you're so poor? Looks like you haven't changed, Cicera. Long time no see, Rosa. Ah, so you're still doing that running joke of yours where you set me up as being poor and make fun of me for it. Huh? What do you mean my running joke? But you are actually poor, right? I've been telling you this since we were in elementary school, but my family isn't as poor as you make us out to be. Huh? Listen up. Your family is poor and my family is rich. You see, you call someone like me, who lives in a mansion and is the daughter of a CEO, rich, and you call someone like you, who lives in a tiny 2DK apartment, poor. Do you understand that? Sure, you may be able to barely get by, but you're poor compared to me, all right? But it doesn't make sense to judge how rich or poor someone is based on the size of the house they live in. Just because someone doesn't live in a luxurious house doesn't mean that they're poor, you know? Besides, I already told you why my family lived in a 2DK apartment instead of a house when we were kids, right? Oh, yeah, it was something about how your father was the eldest son of his family and that he would eventually inherit his parents' house, right? There was tension between your mother and her mother-in-law, so you guys decided to live separately from her for the time being, or something? Yes. We now live in that house, the one my father inherited after his parents passed away. Yeah, I get it already. Even if a poor person inherits a house that belonged to a poor person, it doesn't change the fact that they're still poor. It's basically the same thing from my perspective. So you don't actually understand, huh? Anyways, we got off topic. I was talking about the wedding invitation I sent you by email. I need you to send me your reply as soon as possible. Oh, you were getting married, right? I was about to contact you about that wedding invitation myself, so this was good timing. Huh? What do you mean you were going to contact me about it? Why not just reply to my email? You see, for some reason I got multiple wedding invitations for your wedding. Huh? Yeah, I received 2, one from your husband and one from you. What? Really? The other wedding invitation was for both me and my husband to come, but yours was just for me. Wait, you were married? Yeah, I just got married last year. But you never invited me to your wedding. Sorry, but only family was invited to our wedding ceremony. Oh, I get it. You were too poor that you could only throw a small-scale wedding, huh? Unlike me, who's going to throw a grand wedding that's going to cost over 100,000 euros. It wasn't really a financial decision, but... Wait, but your last name didn't change. It did. I just didn't tell you about it yet. I'm sorry, but I'll have to delete the wedding invitation you sent me and reply to the one inviting both me and my husband instead. It would be weird if the two of us went to the wedding with separate invitations, right? Well, I guess it can't be helped. I guess it was bad management that we accidentally sent you 2 wedding invitations. It doesn't matter, though, because you're still going to be coming to the wedding, right? It's fine as long as that's the case. Yep. Thanks for understanding. All right, I'm going to reply to this other wedding invitation inviting me and my husband instead of yours. I'll make sure to reply by the end of this week. Yeah, all right. Hi, Cicera. Have you arrived to the wedding venue yet? I don't think you would do something like this, but don't tell me that you suddenly changed your plans, did you? No, I haven't changed my plans. I'm currently on my way to the wedding venue. Okay. Oh, that reminds me. We're going to be serving luxurious food, the kind you probably are too poor to eat often, at the wedding reception, but I am begging you, try not to stuff your face with it, all right? Oh, and I don't think I need to tell you this, but taking it home also isn't allowed. You don't have to worry about that. You see, I had a mentor teach me basic manners when I was younger. Huh? A mentor? Are you trying to show off? There's no way someone as poor as you would be able to take lessons on manners. Only people who belong to the upper class like me receive lessons on manners. Just imagining you at such a place makes me laugh. I already told you this multiple times. My family isn't as poor as you're making us out to be. Yeah, you're poor compared to me at least. By the way, you're probably worried about the wedding gift that you're going to have to give us, right? This is a wedding thrown by rich people after all. But since I'm not just rich, but kind as well, I'll let you give me only 1 cent as a wedding gift. Huh? I'm not so selfish as to make a poor person pay me money. I really won't mind even if you give me only 1 cent. You see, my husband is also extremely rich, which means that this is kind of a celebrity marriage. Most of the other people here are also from the upper class, so we're just going to receive the wedding gift money from them instead. I see, but I really don't mind giving you a regular-sized wedding gift. No need to act all proud, Cicera. It's not your fault that you and your husband are poor after all. Anyways, the wedding ceremony today is probably going to be so luxurious that you probably have never even dreamed of anything like it before. But don't get all snotty when you get here just because you're jealous of my money, all right? Just try not to look like a complete idiot. I arrived at the wedding venue's parking lot, so I'll talk to you later. Oh, so you finally arrived. Look forward to the wedding reception, all right? I've got a surprise for you. Hi, Rosa. Can we talk right now? It's about me and my husband's seat at the wedding reception. What's the meaning of this placement? Oh, you finally noticed. It's a pretty hilarious seating plan, don't you think? It's not just that you didn't prepare seats for us, but it says that we're supposed to stand by the walls. Is this some kind of a joke? How did you even convince the wedding planners to let you do this? How I convinced them to do this is none of your business. You see, I thought it would be embarrassing for you two if I didn't give you positions at the wedding reception befitting of a poor person. Oh, don't worry about the food, though. We're going to give you the same food as everyone else. You see, I was thinking at first to only give you guys some chips and beer I was going to buy at the convenience store, since you were only going to give me 1 cent as a wedding gift after all. But I changed my mind since I thought that it wouldn't be good, since that might ruin the wedding reception's atmosphere. The other guests would feel uncomfortable if these two weirdos were standing in the corner eating chips after all, which means I'll be kind enough and just make you guys stand by the walls. First of all, I don't want you to be misunderstood, so I'll have you know that we're going to give you a standard-sized wedding gift. Huh? But how did you get that much money? We are not so poor as to not be able to prepare even that much money. Oh, is that so? Rosa, I honestly don't care that much that you placed us like this, but does your groom know about this seating placement of yours? Because I don't think that he's going to be as uninterested in this as I am. Huh? Why do you ask? I'm the one who invited you guys, so it's my freedom as to how I place you guys at the wedding reception, right? My groom has nothing to do with this. What are you talking about? What do you mean that you're the one who invited us? But didn't I already tell you that I got 2 invitations and that I would be replying to the one that invited both me and my husband? Don't tell me, but do you seriously not know who invited us? It was your groom that invited me and your husband. What? Oh, that's right. What do you mean, that's right? Did you not see the guest list? You looked at the guest list and then came up with this seating placement, right? What? Oh, I guess it did say something like that on the guest list. It looks like you weren't listening to me either when I told you that I would delete the wedding invitation I received from you and reply to the one your husband sent us instead. If this was just me involved, I wouldn't even bother making a commotion out of this and just go home already. But this is just going a bit too far. Actually, I think this is going way too far. What in the world are you talking about? What, do you think my groom is going to get mad about this or something? Why would he get mad? You guys are just some random colleagues of his that he probably just invited as a courtesy. Do you seriously not know the relationship between your groom and me and my husband? We're not just some random colleagues. What? But I thought that you guys just worked at the same company, right? You guys were in the category of colleagues. Well, yeah, I guess we are his colleagues, but it's really more than that. First of all, I'm the CEO of the company your groom works at as a senior executive manager. What? You're the CEO? That doesn't make any sense. You see, my great-grandfather was the one who founded this company. I inherited it 1 year ago, and I'm currently its 4th CEO. My husband, by the way, is the company's vice president. Huh? No way. You've got to be kidding right now. But the company my husband works at is one of the largest in its field. There's no way someone as poor as you is actually the great-granddaughter of its founder and also the current CEO. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, your father was just a regular employee, right? Why would a CEO be living in a tiny 2DK apartment like that anyways? No. My father was already the CEO when we used to live near each other. Like I already said, just because someone doesn't live in a luxurious house doesn't mean that they're poor. What? I already told you we only lived in that 2DK apartment since my father was about to inherit his parents' house, and we were planning on moving there soon. You didn't tell me anything about this. I think I did. Several times, actually. Even your parents knew about this. Whatever I said to you, you kept calling me poor for some reason, so eventually I just got tired of explaining it to you. Besides, I didn't like how you kept boasting about your parents' job, since it felt like you were making fun of people who worked in different fields. Huh? What even is that? Oh, and there's one more thing I need to tell you. What is it? Did you know that my company is the largest trading partner of your father's company? What? Really? I seriously don't know how you've been able to live your life until now not knowing any of this, when both your father and your groom have ties with our company. Actually, I guess it isn't that surprising, though. Knowing you, you probably just ignored what everyone else told you so that you could continue living in the reality you made up in your head. Anyways, I heard that you managed to make our seating arrangements like this by lying to the planners this morning, right before the wedding ceremony started, about who we actually were, and basically forced them to change the seating arrangements that were already decided as we were your groom's guests. Yeah, but don't you think it's only natural to assume that someone is poor if they live in a tiny 2DK apartment like that? Not if that person told you several times that that wasn't actually the case. You messed up big time, Rosa. For your groom, my husband and I are his superiors as the CEO and vice president of the company he works at. And as for your father, we're the heads of his company's most important trading partners. And you insulted us like this by making us stand by the walls because you refused to believe what I told you. Not that this would be okay even if we were actually poor. What? Well, that's it from me. I was able to find out your intentions behind this seating arrangement you came up with, so I think I'll leave it to your groom and parents now, because I, for one, am honestly just glad that I have an excuse to go home. What? Me and my husband are guests of your groom, so they're probably going to check the seats of your groom's guests first. Wait, what? Well then, me and my husband are going to go home now. No! Why are you going to go home? But if you go home now, this is just going to make what I did look even worse. But I heard that your groom is already talking about canceling the wedding ceremony. He's going to cancel it? Goodbye then. Wait, don't go! Sasira, what am I going to do about this? My marriage with my fiancé was canceled, and my parents got so furious with me that they basically cut ties with me and kicked me out of their house. Not only that, but they're making me pay for a bunch of stuff, including an alimony and the wedding ceremony's cancellation fees, and apparently I have to pay a total of over 100,000 euros. I'm the daughter of a CEO, but now I have to get a job? I didn't even do anything wrong. It was just a simple misunderstanding. I didn't know you and your husband were the CEO and the vice CEO of my husband's company. I get why everyone's mad at me, but don't you think that canceling the marriage over a simple misunderstanding is going a bit too far? I I don't think that this is something serious enough for my parents to cut ties with me like that either. Besides, this is kind of your fault anyways. The only reason I thought that you were poor in the first place was because your family lived in a tiny 2DK apartment. You're partly responsible for this mess, so I think that you have a duty to help me out now, you know? Sisira? Hey, Sisira! Reply to my texts! I was eating lunch when Rosa suddenly sent me this wall of text, and I couldn't stand all the notifications, so I eventually just blocked her account. She doesn't know my current address, so I'm not worried about her trying to come to our house and do anything crazy. But I am worried that she might attempt to break into our office and make a scene, since not only was I there, but her ex-fiance, the senior executive manager, was also. We were half expecting her to barge in at any moment, and it looks like my guess was correct. Of course, we already expected this to happen, so as soon as she tried to barge in, some of the staff pretended to welcome her and led her to the meeting room, giving her some tea and snacks as a distraction. Behind her back, though, we contacted her parents. Rosa jumped in shock when she saw her parents enter the meeting room, and she was taken away before she could even realize what was happening. Apparently, she was sent to work at a construction company famous for turning even the most wretched of society's degenerates into upstanding citizens. She now does grueling work, which is also the first kind of work she's ever done in her life. Under the constant watch of her superiors, working day and night to pay off the over 100,000 euros of money she owes.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.